Hey boardies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. Today we're doing our setup, play and review for the two-player asymmetric game by Matagot Raptor. This has been designed by Bruno Cathala and Bruno Cathala. It takes about 30 minutes to play, and as I said, it's only for two players. You're either going to be playing as the raptor, the mother raptor, looking after their 5 babies, or you are playing as a scientist trying to capture those raptors. That's one of 2 ways you can win. You can also win by actually managing to shoot the raptor 5 times, or if that's the mother raptor, or if you happen to be the raptors, get 3 of your babies to safety. That is how the game's going to work. Here's the insert, it's quite nice. You're going to have to construct these small little islands, these rock formations, which are obstacles in the game. This is a game whereby you're playing out cards. There are action points which you can have as well as various abilities that your cards can give you too. You can play on either, and I've played on both modes, the winter not winter, I guess it's desert, savannah side, or you can play it on jungle side. You may have noticed I have zoomed out. It's not a huge game to set up, but I do feel like it does need a little bit of space. So if you want to see any images for this game as well as some quite fun ones, you can check out over on Instagram that I've posted over there too. That is via the description YouTube. And of course, do like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as well. As you can see, I'm sitting on the jungle side, and I do tend to play the Jurassic Park theme tune as well. So what you're going to do is going to place these here. This is going to be one escape route that you are trying to reach. If you are the baby raptors, you're trying to reach these half circles here, and then you've won. So you do not place it like this, you're placing it this way up. So you can see they can try and stretch themselves out. Then you've got to find the respective holes. Any questions, always do let me know via the comments on YouTube. Like, subscribe, as I mentioned, about hitting the notification bell. And of course, do share. About 95% of people watching don't subscribe for enough, but they do tend to watch. There's about 90,000 people or so watching every month, unique viewers. As you can see, you've got to try and find those gaps. Okay, so we're all set up here. We now need to get out the stuff in this bag for the mother raptor. Now you might notice I actually have sleeved this game. Check out my sleeving playlist too. It doesn't come with sleeves. The mother raptor is going to go on the 2 central tiles. Let's place her here. Well, let's place her here. I'll show you why I would not want to do this. Then you're going to bring out the 5 babies, wherever you like. Again, you want them to escape, so maybe you want to place them quite close to the exit locations. And this is going on how to set up play and review playlist, the AmassGames playlist, and a few others as well, such as that 2-player playlist. As you can see, they're quite near to those exit. They've got the last one to place here in the center. And then you bring out the scientists. And the scientists can go wherever they want as well along these end locations. So it might make sense to try and block these off because these raptors cannot move through them. Over here, it's going to block here, let's say, and it's going to stay here. Okay, now these are some fire tokens. This is something that the scientists can use. Scientists can move through fire, but they can't end their turn on it, whereas the raptors cannot move through it. Only the mother raptor can remove it by being on a turn space next to it. I guess they use their tail to try and put it out or something like that. Okay, there are some spare as a reserve going on here. This is relating, sorry about that wobble. These are the reserve tiles relating to any scientists that come into play. Now, the mother raptor can also win, or the raptor player can also win if they happen to eliminate all of the scientists on the board. If there's any in the supply, it doesn't matter. If they're in the reserves, they should have come onto the board, because as long as they all get eliminated, that's on the board, then the raptor can win too. So there we go. So again, there's 2 different ways that the team players can win. So what we're going to do is now talk about what we do in terms of playing our cards. So we have different sets of cards, 9 for the raptor player, 9 for the scientist. You're going to shuffle up and draw 3 each and pick one. So let's say I have got 3 cards here for the scientist. I've got a card here such as Jeep. Everything is written in your player aid. This allows me to move as far as I like. Normally, scientists can only move 1 space, just like the baby raptors, and mothers can always move as long as they like. So basically, they're doing like a mother. This is reinforcements. This lets me bring out 2 more of my reserve scientists. They're going to come along the end locations. No longer are they going to come along these locations. And this one, again, is the same. So that's what that can be doing. If I just grab the first 3 cards I see here, let's see what we've got here. So this one can basically put one of my guys almost asleep or scare them, lay them down. This one lets me do reinforcements. Sorry, this one lets me disappear and observation, removing the mother from the board, turning after the scientist has been. It's basically once the scientist has then been, then they can then choose to come back on the board if they want, once they know what the next card is that the scientist is going to play. And over here we have what's called a mother's call. So you can move 1 or 2 babies onto a free space onto the same tile as to where the mother is located, but the move must be carried out without crossing spaces that are occupied or where there's a fire. Okay, so that's how it's going to go. So what happens if you play a card? Well, let's say I want to play this because I want to get closer. Then you might have this person play this card. That's a higher value card. As an example, just because there's more interesting stuff to show you, Let's do a 1. So imagine the Raptor played a 1 card. Now, if you both play the same value card, just to let you know, nothing happens. You just play an extra card. If you play a 1 card, you're then shuffling up your deck for your next turn. However, if you've played out 7 cards, you have 2 cards left. You're going to shuffle all the 7 that you've played. And when you do play out cards, please make sure that you do them like this, so you can actually see what else you've been playing already. So let's play, they play this lower card here. This means you can move a baby Raptor onto free space of your choice onto the tile where the mother is located. So that, sorry, you should have been up here. So let's say we bring this one down to here. So they've taken their turn, and now let's say I played that 3. This gives me 2 action points. What are action points? Well, they're different depending on the different player, but if you're the scientist, you can shoot, so you can tranquilize, in which case you can put this Raptor to sleep, and when they do go on their side, they do look very cute. So that's now asleep on its side. Now, this one can also do the same thing as well. Again, they need to capture 3 to win the game. So how do you capture? Well, you cannot shoot and capture with the same scientist in the same turns. You have to wait an extra turn. However, imagine we had to play a higher card. Let's say they played that 1 and I played a 9. That gives me 8 action points. This means I could go shoot for 1 and then go 2, 3, 4 and capture for 5. And that's going to go on my board, and I've captured one of them. Then I could go down here and do something else as well. So you can see you can double them up. Something else I could be doing is I could go down 1, 2 and then shoot. So I can choose to shoot another Raptor. In this case, it can shoot as long as it likes. And what happens is this is then going to take one of these trank darts. And this now means whenever the Raptor has the highest value, again, it only picks up the ability on the card if it's the lowest card. The highest card, that difference is going to be taken off by 1. Do it 5 times and they've lost. So that's how the Raptor can lose. And that's the game. Like I said, you can flip the board over. Obviously, these will be different orientations, I think. I'm not certain. But as you can see, there's a different color scheme, which is, yes, it's a bit different, as you can see. So yeah, what do I think of the game? So I give it a very good rating. It's 7 out of 10. So higher than average for me. Like I said, I love these figurines, as they call them. They're very, very cool. It's a great game by Matagot here. Another lovely 2-player game by them once again. And yes, lots of different ways you need to think about, oh, do I want to spread out my Raptors? Do I want to bring them together? Do I want to try and corral them and try and push them out in one go? As a scientist, do I want to block off their escape paths? So you can bring out fire. It must come out from a scientist. Could be one bit here, and then you could bring out one here. And there are some cards which let you bring out 3 fire. So you can either bring out another one next to a scientist, or you can extend your fire as well. Again, this mother Raptor needs to go shoot across and get all the way around or whatever to then bring out this fire. A mother can also gobble up scientists. So there's extra action points. Let's talk the scientist. They can move on to neighboring space. That could be 1 action point. A frightened scientist, so if they were frightened on a prior turn, not this certain turn, which may have caused them to be frightened, then they can be stood up. So not the same round that they were frightened. Again, the frightened tokens over here. Other things, by the way, remove scared dinosaurs, or can stand them back up again. They can remove these tokens too. However, that's something else that a scientist can do. They can capture sleeping Raptor, as we mentioned already. They can shoot a baby Raptor, which we mentioned already, and you can shoot the mother. So there's the 5 things that they can do. Now, what the babies can do, so there's 5 different things that the Raptors can do, is a baby can move onto neighboring space. The mother Raptor can move as far as it likes as well, again in a straight line. So it could go 1, 2, for example. It can kill a scientist on neighboring space, like I said, it can munch, so that comes off the board, it will never come back. It can also choose to wake up a baby Raptor next to it, so it could go 2, 3, or whatever it was. Any actions already taken. And lastly, it can remove a fire token, as I mentioned. So it can, if it was over here, you can rush back over here or something and remove this. And that is the game. Very interesting to play, like I said, very enjoyable. Again, the angle doesn't look great for what it is, but it's a slightly bigger board than anticipated. So just be aware of that. But like I said, it's a lovely game to play. Lovely player raid. If you want to play in French, you can play on that side too. Thanks very much for watching. Speak again soon. But for now, that's been Raptor. Enjoy the game. Check out the podcast too. Back to the table.